Welcome to Real Talk. We are excited on tonight to be here with you. We have so many great things we're going to discuss on tonight. So many great things we're going to discuss on tonight. You have yours truly, Pastor Z, and the lovely, beautiful, unique, and very different Miss Bishop T.
Thank you so much. That introductory the introduction gets bigger and bigger every week.
Bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger.
One of a kind, Bishop
Yeah,
T.
I hear what you're saying.
One of a kind, Bishop T.
We'll talk about that later. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
good.
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm
Well,
excited about the show tonight.
so am I. So am I. We have people chiming in. We already have 15 people joining us. We want everybody to send the information out. This is going to be a very informative show that will be a blessing to you and yours on tonight. We're excited to have our guest that's going to be with us all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, Miss LaTasha Bostick. She is a cervical cancer survivor and advocate. She's going to talk about her organization that she is the CEO and the founder of, and so we're looking forward to having the conversation. Good evening to everyone. Go ahead, and you can comment. We're going to give you opportunity to ask any questions that you may have for Ms. Bostick on today. If you would like to join our show on tonight, you can definitely uh, tune in on conference call. If you're unable to join us on social media, that number is 1646 224 5980. That PIN number is 334-1986. You can join us on conference call line. Hello to all of you that are joining us. If you are unable to join us on conference call but would like to join us on Facebook Live, just go to Facebook. Go to the Facebook. Go to the book, y'all. Go to the book. And when you go to the book, just put in Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T, and you'll be able to find us right now. Right now. Those that are not on Facebook but would like to use your YouTube, you can do that. Just go to YouTube. Put in Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Some of you are following us on Twitter. R Talk with Z and T at R Talk with Z _T. We're excited. We're excited. Come on in. Come on in. Hello to Miss Tara Townsend. I want to say hello to you. You speaking to us. Miss Rosalind Smith. Hello. Mr. Philip Davis. What's up, man? Miss Sydney Dillard. Hello. How are you? Miss Shannon Wyatt. Hello. How are you? Miss Lynn Brown. Hello, hello. I'm looking for the Bostick clan. I'm looking for the Bostick clan. There's a whole heap of Bosticks in this city now. Where are you, Bosticks? Come on, log on, log on. We got one of your family members right here. It's going to be joining us on tonight. Hello, Miss Mama Latham. How are you on tonight? Mama, speaking to you.
Hey, Mama, how are you? Hey to everybody that's coming on. To everyone that's coming on. How many people do we have so far, Pat?
We have 21 on right now. 21
all
is on.
21 of you to share. Hit the share button. This is going to be a very informative episode tonight. So we need you to hit the share button. Good minute. Come on there. Good minute coming on. That's good. We coming up on them.
We coming up.
We coming on in with us.
Hey, we relevant. I don't care what they say. We matter. I don't hear no about.
Oh, brother. All right.
Miss Lynn Brown said, "Don't talk about me."
Huh?
Who? Miss Lynn Brown said, "Don't talk about me." right. Miss Mary Smitherman. Hello, hello.
You
I am
haven't
feeling
been,
better, Tara. Thank you.
you haven't been feeling well. You didn't share that with me.
Well, Sunday I wasn't. I wasn't feeling my best. My blood pressure was out the roof before I ministered. So, but I'm much better now. Hello, there go one of the married to the Bosticks, Miss Renee. We call her Connie and Brian Bostick. That's right. Get the Bosticks on here, Miss Tamika Wright. Hello, hello. Shanice Wyatt. Hello. This is Tasha mom. Didn't know that was Tasha mother. Hello,
Okay,
Miss Lynn
awesome.
Brown. Tasha mother. Hello. Glad to have
Awesome.
you a part of Real Talk. Anthony Burden. I guess
Burdine.
Burdine. Okay. All right. All right. We got all these people joining us. We ready to get started and jump right into the show. Are you ready, Bishop
Ready.
Keys?
Ready.
If you ready, I'm ready. Let's get it.
Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
All right, all right. Welcome to Real Talk. As we was doing the intro, we start singing everyone join on tonight. Hello, Katrina Davis. How are you? Glad to have you on. Miss Linda Bostick. Hello, hello. The Bostick clan is joining us. Tosh say, hey sis, thanks for your support. And I see Renee is rounding up. Connie's rounding up all the Bosticks right there. So go ahead, tag up all the Bosticks. Tell them, hey, we got somebody right here on the show that they just may be familiar with. But before we bring her on tonight, we got to do first thing first.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed. Under the previous order, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will immediately be notified of the Senate's action.
Madam President, very happily, I note the absence of a quorum.
All righty. All righty. All righty. All righty.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
To
Wonderful.
God be the glory.
Yes, to God be the glory.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. So for those that missed it, you had an opportunity to see it right here on Real Talk. It passed the Senate. And so Miss Jackson Brown will be on to the Supreme Court. What does that mean, Bishop? What does that mean?
You know, you almost are to a place to where words cannot express the excitement for that, for Black women, for women, period. And she has represented so well. It means so much. And I think that she will represent, the court looks more like
America.
United States looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am just thankful for history being made with her being the first Black woman to serve, to be appointed to the Supreme Court. And then the procedure was, what am I trying to say? Vice President Kamala Harris made history as well as being the first Black woman to preside over that particular voting and everything. So it just speaks volumes to women, to Black women, and to those little girls and teenagers who are wondering what they can be and how far they can go and aspire to be great. It speaks volumes. And it speaks volumes for the courage, the fortitude, the poise, the grace that she possessed, and going through the whole procedure, the whole process, because it was tough for her. They were tough on her, but she prevailed. And it's just like what Cory Booker said, Senator Booker said, it is what it is. And the thing is, after this, history will be made. And again, it's awesome. I'm just excited about it. And really just looking forward to her positions on the Supreme Court. Right. That's what I'm looking forward to, and just grateful that President Biden followed through. He followed through, regardless of the negativity, even today, regardless of all of that. It is a moment, a time, in a space in history that we can be very proud of, not just as a race, but it is a ray of hope with everything that we see going on in the world today.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you know the exact number, but do you know the number of Republicans and Democrats in the Senate? Are they 50-50 or?
It's 50-50.
So they had three.
Yeah,
at least
three to cross over to make it a bipartisan vote.
Okay.
You don't need but one to make it a bipartisan vote.
Okay.
But they had 3 to cross over. So it's 50-50. And as long as all of the Democrats were on board, it would have happened anyway, because in the place of a tie, Kamala Harris,
That's right.
Vice President Kamala Harris would have
That is correct. That it is right. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. History has been made again in these United States of America. Yay. And it didn't come easy. But it happened.
when you think about it, nothing that we've ever had to do or that has come to us has been easy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has been easy. So
right. So yes. All right, y'all. We are excited tonight. We've been looking forward since last week. We knew that we was going to have this guest on our show. She's Gaston native. She's from the GP, Green Pastures, y'all. And so we want GP to represent on tonight. We have none other than Miss LaTasha Bostick, cervical cancer survivor and advocate, also the CEO and founder of 2Fab4Cancer. Let's welcome tonight none other than Miss LaTasha Bostick. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I am great. You can hear me, right?
We can.
Okay.
We can hear you good.
I'm great.
So you know there was a song. You from Green Pastures, right?
Yes.
What street in Green Pastures did you grow up on?
Harlem Avenue.
Harlem Avenue.
Yes.
So you know Kurt Franklin used to say, "GP, are you with me?" Where the GP folks at? Where the Green Pasture folks at? Where you at? Where you at?
It's a lot of us.
Yeah. But she's right now residing in Jacksonville, Florida. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. How long you been in Jacksonville, Florida?
Actually, yesterday made 11 years.
11 years. 11 years.
Yes.
You have a story that we wanted to get out to the people. And we wanted people to really pay closer attention to what you had to say to us. We stumbled up and we was able to see on newsfeed. One day there was a flyer that you posted, 2Fab4Cancer, and we wanted to know your story. And ironic, you're working on your nonprofit, and you need to get this information out. And ain't God good? Isn't God good that you can come on Real Talk and you can actually broadcast to the world for the first time your nonprofit? Ain't that something?
And that is amazing.
Bishop Peace, there are some folks who choose us first.
Are
you hear what I'm saying?
Now, don't get nothing started tonight.
Okay, all right. I won't.
Let's try to stay on the right side of right.
Right side of right. Yes.
You
so
right,
Trina McBride, you got some of your classmates joining in.
Hey.
You got some of your classmates joining in. Listen, so let's talk. Let's first of all share the story of how your life. Well, you went from traveling all over the world whenever you wanted to. You just jumped in the car and you traveled.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, some things starting to take place in your life that led you. I think it led you to move to Jacksonville. Am I right?
Partly, yes.
Partly. Okay.
Yes.
So we're I'm gonna step back because I read your biography and what you sent us, the information that you sent. And we're just going to let you just share how things were in high school, how they was living in Gaston, and then all the way to the point where you had a life-changing experience. Go ahead.
All right. So I am from GP. I love my Green Pastor family. You know, everybody like knows everybody. Get in trouble, you're gonna catch it from the top of the street all the way down. It's just how it was.
Mm.
So I did graduate from Litchfield High School, class of '97. We're coming up on our 25th class reunion, being out of high school. Um, and it was like a great experience all the way up, I guess, probably to graduation. Um, I actually gave birth to my beautiful, almost 25-year-old daughter. She'll be 25 April 30th. And after I gave birth to her, I started having more problems. I noticed after giving birth to her, um, it started out with abnormal paps. At the time, I didn't really know like what was going on, why it happened, what was, the cause of it. And it just seemed like I was getting a runaround. Um, and I would say lack of insurance or good insurance falls back on a lot of our culture. And, just being a minority, not having that insurance and kind of um, push you back. If you have more symptoms, just come back to us, and we'll recheck you. Well, when I would get rechecked, it was like, okay, well, we're just going to give you some birth control to
Mm.
kind of help your symptoms. And then it was, well, let's try steroids. I'm like, I'm not getting on no steroids. You're not going to blow me up. So I refused the steroids and I did the birth control. Well, nothing changed. Nothing changed. I still was having problems, still having heavy bleeding. The pelvic pain was there. Just keeping it real. After
Mm-hmm.
intercourse, heavy, bleeding during and after. Never knew actually the problems that these, what was the cause of all of this. Just kind of went through the motion of life. Years passed. I had another child almost 6 years later, and I still was having problems. Now I have two kids. I'm in my 20s, and nothing is getting better. I would have a menstrual for almost a month. And who can live like that?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't hardly go nowhere. You're scared to even sneeze because you, like clots. It was just horrible for me. I was always weak, um, low iron. Just it was bad. It was really, really bad. Nobody could give me an answer. And again, I'm going to come back to the insurance thing. When you don't have good insurance, you don't get good health care. And that's just the way, it's sad how our country is set up. It's just sad. But we know we celebrating today and we
Exactly.
just hoping that, things get better.
Right.
But it's just sad that so many women like myself have went through this and didn't know what was actually causing all of these health issues. So let's just fast forward. I was going through a hard, difficult relationship, marriage, and it wasn't getting any better. So I decided, it's time for a change. I need to do something better with my life, something for my kids. I need to get my health together. Alabama just wasn't it. Alabama wasn't doing anything for me. Um, the hospitals there, like, and I'm gonna call Birmingham out too because I was actually residing in Birmingham when, and I'm not afraid to say the hospital name. Say I
Mm-hmm.
think it was St. Vincent's, if I'm correct, but it was St. Vincent. I ended up going there one day and I was in so much pain. I went there and I'm like, I don't know what's causing this pain. Can you just examine me, help me out? That doctor looked at me, didn't even touch me, didn't
Mm.
do no physical exam. He basically was saying, it's nothing wrong with you. All your vitals are good, and sent me home. Told me if I had any other problems to come back. It was not even, I want to say maybe an hour or 2 hours. I'm laying across the bed. I'm telling my daughter, like, oh no, you're going to have to call my best friend. Call Yogi at the time, had to come pick me up, take me back to the hospital, had a ovarian cyst that ruptured.
Mm.
Mind you, I was just at the hospital. No one touched me. No one did no physical exam, anything. I was fed up with Alabama, fed up with Birmingham. I was just like, this is crazy to me. So now let's fast forward. I moved to Jacksonville, Florida. One of my good friends, Tawana, came here with her. She talked me into getting, applying for a job while I was here. I'm like, I'm not going to be here long. But I ended up applying for a job at Citibank, got it on my birthday. Thank God.
Mm.
That was a great birthday gift. Got it on my birthday, the job offer, and called my family up, went home for my birthday, said we moving. We relocated. My birthday, April 22nd. The job started May 1st. So we were out.
Yeah.
So I came to Florida. I was still having problems. I remember talking it over with one of my managers at the time, and I was just telling her what I was going through. She referred me to the Mayo Clinic, the Mayo Hospital here. When I got to the Mayo Hospital and they start actually doing tests, they were like, okay, so we're going to send you to a specialist. I'm like, a specialist? I'm having to go through all these different doctors. And I'm just like, okay, this don't sound good, but okay, I'm going to go. And one thing led to another. Next thing you know, Miss Bostick, we need you to come in. We got some things we need to go over. And we need to come in immediately, basically. So I ended up going, and I heard the words I never wanted to hear in my life, cervical cancer. And I'm like, what? Like, what is that? I never heard of it, didn't know it, because you hear so much of pink, you see pink, 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 breast cancer. I've heard of prostate cancer. I heard of, pancreatic, heard of all these other, never heard of cervical cancer in my life. So I didn't even know what it was. So here I am dumbfounded. And I'm like, well, what causes this? What happened? And he just started going through all of this. And I'm like, for the life of me, I've been going through this for how long? The pelvic pains, the swelling, the pain in my leg, back pain, heavy bleeding, abnormal paps, just everything. I had all the symptoms, but never knew the word cervical cancer existed. And it was just, I'll just say the grace of God when my manager gave me that information about the Mayo, that I only had to have surgery because they caught it to where it was just in my cervix. So the type of surgery I had to have, thank God my mom, actually my mom went with it when I had this part, but it's called conization biopsy. And it's just where they take a small piece of your cervix, remove it rather. But I didn't even care at this point. I had my boy, had my girl. I was okay with life. If you had to remove everything, I didn't care. Just save my life. That's all that mattered. My daughter at the time was only in the 9th grade. My son was in elementary. I was going through a rough part of my life. So not only did I had to hear the word cancer, I had to hear the words, I'm going to take you to court for full custody, because I relocated to Florida, had somebody in my life. My ex didn't like it after 6 years of divorce. So he wanted to fight me for full custody and claim he knew nothing of my whereabouts when we talked almost every other day on the phone. I just, for the life of me, I'm like, where is this coming from? You got my address, you know, my telephone number. Why are we fighting for custody? It caused such a dismantle in my family and my friends, some of my friends, to where I didn't speak to someone for 3 years. It took 3 years of healing. It was bad. Um, so needless to say, I was fighting for cancer, fighting for my life for cancer. Didn't know what was going to happen with that. Fighting for custody. I kind of went in this little silent zone where I'm not going to talk about it, not going to tell nobody, because I don't want anybody using anything against me. So I went through it, and only my household knew and my best friend. That was it. I look back at Chad, and I look back at, excuse me, at Tracy, and you hear about people say, well, I didn't even know they had cancer. And it's a reason why. It is a true reason why a lot of people, getting kind of choked up, a lot of people don't speak about, you know, the things that they're going through, because people use it against you. Yeah. You know, how many people, if they had known about Chad's cancer, he probably wouldn't have had so many roles. So he kept it hush hush. So
you talking about Chadwick that played Black Panther?
Yes.
And yeah.
So
a lot of people didn't know,
right,
and they judged him, and they thought he was on drugs or something, right, because he had lost so much weight.
Yeah, and people be quiet about a lot of things that they go through, because people. And then I didn't want. Okay, you got to look at, my family is big. My family is huge. I have a lot of nurses that are aunties and cousins. So I just moved here, not even 6 months, and heard this word cancer. So I didn't want my aunties to be worried and have to say, oh, you need to come back home. Or I didn't want them to be like, well, are you okay? Are you okay? Because the first thing the doctor said, stress spreads anything. Eliminate all stress. Here I am fighting for custody, fighting for cancer, fighting cancer. And I got all of this, So I didn't tell my son that his mommy was sick. I kind of kept that away from him. I had to give up my son and allow him to go back to Texas with his dad while we fought. We didn't even live in Alabama. We had to go. I'm in Florida. He's in Texas. But because our divorce was in the state of Alabama, I had to fly back to Alabama just to go to court for custody. I'm like, why are we even here? It was just so much. But needless to say, my son came home. He came back home with me. And it took about almost 2 years for me to get to where I was okay with my health. And then I started, doing a lot more researching and a lot more. I wanted to speak up, after the fact. So I started reaching out to different organizations and finding women like me that were going through what I was going through. Well, in Florida, Jacksonville, I didn't really see a lot of it. Didn't really see a lot of support groups, especially for minorities. I didn't see any of that. So I found this organization called National Cervical Cancer Coalition, and I joined. And then I became a chapter leader for Jacksonville, the first ever chapter leader here, to have a cervical cancer support group. And it just took off from there. The advocacy just took off. And then I found my voice.
Now, during this whole time, are you still fighting the cancer?
Right. So I didn't have what they call no evidence. I didn't have a clear bill of health at the time. We were still going through, because even after you have the surgery or you go through chemo radiation, you still have to keep going back to your doctor Some of them want you to go back once a month, some go every 3 months, and then after that it's like every 6 months, and then they graduate you to like a year or 5 years. So I was still in the early stage where I was still under a year
Okay.
when I started reaching out to different cancer support groups, because like I say, I didn't know anything about cervical cancer. And then you got to think about, I have a high schooler that's a female, and I didn't know, like, is this hereditary? Like, is she going to have the same problems?
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn as much as I could for her sake, my sake, my nieces, and everybody, I just wanted to just have that knowledge to be able to help somebody else go through it.
Okay. All right. So tell me, when did you decide to birth 2Fab4Cancer?
I decided it was in 2013. I decided to bring 2Fab4Cancer. Well, yeah, 2013. I'm not for sure if you remember, but we had in Gadsden, like in our little GP community, at the time, I think it was in the like September, we had probably about 5 or 6 deaths back to back. It was like I remember Mr. ST Ross, and then like maybe the next day or 2 days later, his daughter had passed, and then we had lost Jafar. It was just seemed like deaths just back to back. So it came to me, and I was like, you know what? I need to speak up about, life, what I'm going through, my journey. I need to be able to help somebody, because I got this grief. Now I got like survivor grief, remorse. Like, it was just a lot going on. So I kept toying with the name, and I'm like, okay, well, I need a name. If I'm gonna be on social media, I need a name. I need something that's gonna stand out and grab somebody's attention. And that's when I came up with the name too. At first I wanted Fabulous, but I was like, no, that's too long. So then I ended up doing 2Fab4Cancer. And then it just took off. Like I was being picked up by different organizations, pulling me, wanting to, talk to me, do interviews, and the whole 9 yards. So it was birthed in 2013.
How long have your 2013? You said 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you shared with me that you was about to make your organization a nonprofit, correct? All right.
Yes.
So share with the listeners about about the event and how soon you think it will be completed and you will be a nonprofit.
All right. So I am proud to announce for the first time publicly that 2Fab, I'm being a little petty, but 2Fab4Cancer will be a official nonprofit. I have started the paperwork. I'm just waiting on now for the state of Florida to approve it, and then to approve also with the state my tax exempt and all of that. So I've been working with wonderful organizations, Survivor, NCCC. Survivor has been a great platform for me. The women that I met there, phenomenal women. Like one of them is Karen. I could call her up. She's a retired nurse as well. Excuse me. When I went through my surgeries, she was right there. FaceTiming me, calling me. I could call her like 2 o'clock in the morning and she gonna answer, or text her, she's gonna answer. But that organization really, really helped give me a voice.
Right.
It made me want to do more for women, but
Right.
I really was limited. So I wanted to make 2Fab4Cancer an actual nonprofit to be able to help financially, um, kind of lift some of those burdens up for women, like in my past that could not afford some doctors of visits or PAPs or just anything, just support,
Yeah.
just to be there. If I need to fly and get there to hold your hand, I want to be there.
Yeah. You know, it's good that you bringing not only you bringing education and awareness to this. You said that for so long because of you didn't know the mindset of people that
Right.
you fought in silence because you
Yeah.
didn't want to be judged, and you was already dealing with your own difficulties in more than one way. There's
Right.
somebody right now that may be connected to our to the show, or know somebody that's connected to the show that's quiet about some things that they're going through. They don't want to share it. Um, it- do you regret fighting in silence? Do you regret fighting in silence?
I'm gonna say a little me say yes, only because I know how loving my family is. And I have awesome cousins, aunties, especially one of my aunties that helped raise me, Aunt Virginia. Um, Such a sweetie. Like
Yeah,
I
she's on
miss
here
that.
now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's awesome.
um,
Hmm.
so I miss that nurturing from her, and just having, listening to her soft voice saying it's gonna be okay, or being able to call them up and say, hey, such happened. um I do miss that, and I miss the fact that by us being 7.5 hours away from home, it's difficult for somebody to just hop in a car and be there,
Right.
so I do regret that part. My siblings, I regret not. I didn't even really tell my siblings. Only sibling really knew was Linda, and that was because she was here. But I kept it from them because they worry. I'm the
Yeah.
youngest. I'm the
Yeah.
youngest sister, so yeah, they worry, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to put that on them.
Right.
I guess I was thinking more of them when I knew that they were going to be thinking more of me and saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, no, I'm gonna be there for you."
Right. Right. And I could definitely understand why one, because I'm like that. And Bishop T and I was talking before the show. She, today is a special day for her. And I actually told her I wish she would have contacted me. Because sometimes we deal with things ourselves because we don't want people to see us vulnerable or
Yeah.
in a position where we are feeling some kind of way. We figure it out, get through it, and return a call or answer a call
Hmm.
or whenever we get back to ourselves. But
Right.
we all have moments, and Bishop T and I talk about this all the time. It's okay not to be okay. Um, did you feel that maybe if you had spoken to the public when you was going through all of this, the judgmental would have took place where people would have kind of made you feel some kind of way because you was dealing with some health issues, some women issues at that.
Hmm.
Like you said, you was going like a whole month uh dealing with that. So did you
Hmm.
feel as if people would have been, you know, maybe not looking at you and in support of you, that they would have probably, uh, like you said, been judgmental
Yeah,
towards
I
what you
could
were going through, especially you being a young person.
definitely, especially because we use the hashtag um, and the stigma, because people
Yeah,
look at cervical cancer and they immediately think STD or STI. They think of
yeah,
things like that,
yeah,
um,
and have
and
no
that's
clue,
not what it is.
have no
That's
clue.
not right. So that's why we use the hashtag and the stigma, because
Yeah,
a lot of women don't talk about it
yeah,
because they look at it and they be like, oh, she got something wrong with her, or she did something that caused this,
hmm,
um, or she brought it on herself because
yeah,
it is dealing with the cervix.
right.
And when people think of the cervix, they think of STDs, and that's not what it is.
So
So
what
I
do
think
you
a lot
say?
of women do that.
Yeah. So what do you say to the women right now that could be having some issues. Not sure what the issues could be, but it's maybe similar issues. And because it's similar issues and they know about the stigma that people have out there about their issues, that they are right now suffering in silence. What do you say to them that are suffering in silence when you have people like yourself and your organization and other organizations that really want women to voice and open up and share so that they can help them get the help they need before it's too late? Because some people suffer in silence and never seek for help. They just continue to live life the way it is until there is no more life. So what do you say to those people that are suffering in silence?
I say speak up. And if you're not comfortable speaking up or reaching out to a loved one, or let me just back this all the way up. First of all, you have to make sure you go get your screenings. Don't delay it. You know, I hear women all the time say, "Oh, I haven't went in 5-10 years. That's too long." So if you're suffering from any symptoms, whether it's the pelvic pain, heavy bleeding, back pain, whatever symptom you're feeling, you know your body. You know your body. And if it's something off and you don't feel comfortable talking to your doctor, you need to get a new one. You need to seek a new doctor.
While you're at that point, let me ask this question, and you may have said, were you up on your pap smear, or were you just getting abnormal pap smear?
And that's another key, Tanya, because I was doing paps.
Okay.
I was getting my paps. And when I was getting them, I was having abnormal paps.
So let me one question while you're there, because I want to make sure you answer this while you say the abnormal. You were getting abnormal paps. What were they doing as a result? Because I know you talk about the healthcare. You talked about the healthcare system. What were they doing about those abnormal paps?
Okay, so I remember the first abnormal pap. It was suggested to do birth control because I wasn't on birth control. They were like, "Oh, let's just try, to regulate, let's just do some birth control. Let's try this measure. And we're going to come back, we'll test you again and see if we still, find any problems or any, abnormalities." I remember when I did go back after that, I remember hearing the word precancer. But they blew it off saying, "Oh, fibroids, everyone have these. They're not big enough, to really kind of concentrate on them." You thinking fibroids in minorities. We hear that all the time. I hear so many women when I talk to them saying, "I've been dealing with fibroids forever." Like, why am I not having a second opinion, or why are you not getting a second opinion? And that's why I say, if you're not comfortable talking to your doctor about your health or what you're going through, go get another doctor.
Right.
Ask for somebody else. Don't just take what they're saying and let that be it. Keep going back or change doctors or talk to a nurse, or call the hotline, call the corporate, call somebody and make them do their job. Because I was young, dumb, and didn't use my resources, because I had the resources. My aunties, I could have just went to my aunties, had I not been afraid that I thought I did something. I was putting the blame on myself, and I was hush hush. I'm like, "Oh, it was an abnormal pap. What did I do? It's because I had my child young." Like, I was putting the blame on myself.
What did you? Let me ask you this: was you hung up on the stigma yourself before you got educated? That's why you start blaming yourself, thinking that maybe you did have a partner that had given you something, and now you're hurting it. Yeah, okay.
I did.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, because I don't know, at what age do girls or start going to receive those
Pap.
pap smear? Uh,
Well,
uh,
actually, they want you once you're sexual. If you're sexual, you can have a pap. But a lot of, and I'm gonna say this because a lot of mothers, I'm gonna put it, on some mothers don't want to push for a pap or say, oh, we're going to go get a pap smear because they're thinking, oh, if we're going to get a pap, they're going to think they could be sexual or if they're going to have sex. That's not it. That's not the case. And we're going to go back to the HPV part of it. After I heard the word cervical cancer, then I started learning about the HPV, and there's a HPV vaccine. It's a HPV vaccine that prevents certain cancers. And one of them is cervical cancer. The greatest risk is cervical cancer with HPV vaccine. Now, it's a vaccine that they want to have boys and girls take, but they want them to start it as early as 9 with the vaccine because they want to catch it before they're sexual.
Okay.
It works best before you're sexual with the vaccines, and your rates are higher for preventing certain cancers, whether it's vulvar, anal, vaginal, cervical. It'll help prevent a lot of these cancers if they get the HPV vaccine between the ages of 9 and 13. But that's something that a lot of people don't even know about exists. Certain countries, I think it's about 70 different countries, put them in, how you have to have those immunizations before you go to school.
Right.
It's about 70 countries that have that on their list. We are not one of them.
So in the United States, do you have to ask for that vaccination, or they automatically give it?
You have to ask for it. It's a HPV vaccine, and it's for boys and girls. And I think they bumped the age up. I think you can have it all the way up to 21, I want to say now. But it does help prevent certain cancers, and cervical cancer is one of them.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to step away for just a few minutes and do some announcements.
Okay.
We're going to ask our listeners, if you would, if you have any questions for Miss Bostick or any comments, we want you to go ahead and start posting those right now in the comment section. And when we come back, we're going to talk back to Miss LaTasha Bostick about her organization that she's the CEO and the founder of 2Fab4Cancer, and ask those questions that you desire for her to answer in just a few minutes. All right. On Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., Bishop T has Bible study called Reset. You can find it on Tanya Latham Ministries page and Tanya Latham page, as well as you can share. That's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. Facebook Live and YouTube. Check out Reset on Wednesdays, Bible study as she dig deep into the Word, and you can explore the scriptures together. Listen, big concert coming your way. 10 times Queen of Gospel Grammy winner Shirley Caesar, Leandra Johnson, and Tim Rogers is coming our way right here to Gaston, Alabama on the 26th of June at 4 p.m. The doors open at 3 p.m. It's going to be at the venue at Coosa Landing, 201 George Wallace Drive, Gaston, Alabama. Here are the ticket locations. You can get it at Real Bone. You can also get it at Shop Cash Saver here in Gaston. In was that Huntsville? Can you read that?
Huntsville is something shoes.
Mr. Shoe.
Yeah.
and
Oxford, On Time Fashion,
On Time Fashion in Birmingham,
JD's House of Fashion.
JD's House of Fashion. So check out the big concert coming to Gaston, Alabama, June 26, 4 p.m. The tickets, if you want VIP, is $75. Meal is included. Advance, you can get them right now in advance for $40. And the day of the concert, $50. Okay, for those tickets to check out Miss Shirley Caesar, Leandra Johnson,
Beans, greens, tomatoes, chickens.
yeah, and Tim Rogers. Also, a big, great program going on this coming Sunday, 4 p.m. This coming Sunday, 4 p.m. is going to be the last 7 sayings of Jesus Christ on the cross, featuring speakers Pastor Jeremy Bowman, Pastor Elijah Fowler, Pastor Jonathan Granger, Pastor Edward Jones, Pastor O.C. Nelson, Pastor Charlie Parker, and Pastor Walter Smith. Our guest soloist will be Miss Donna Williams Ingram. Come on out at 4 p.m. Sunday, right here at 508 Allen Street in East Gaston, Alabama, and join us as we enjoy Palm Sunday and have a wonderful time in the name of the Lord. Come on out. Come on out and be a part of this great celebration. Okay.
That seems like it's gonna be pretty good there, Reverend.
Come on out, Bishop. Come on out.
I will definitely be there.
Great. Got a couple questions for you, Miss LaTasha Bostick, from Jacksonville, Florida. All the way in Jacksonville, Florida. We see that GP is in the house. Green Pastors, they're all on. Ms. Kirkpatrick said, other than abnormal PAPs, heavy bleeding, and pelvic pain, did you have any other symptoms?
Yes, April. I had before, like, even this kind of hard to say, but publicly, but like during intercourse, like I had pain or heavy bleeding, or not heavy bleeding, but bleeding, after I would have sex. And my weight, like I had weight loss, I gain weight, lose weight, like my weight was up and down, didn't know why. But after researching, those are some of the symptoms.
Yeah. Your mother said, what about the pain and abnormal cramps with the heavy bleeding? What do you do for that?
Get some rest. No. It's hard. It's hard to maneuver with, any of those things. It's certain things called ablation that you can have, and you have to talk to your doctor. You have to be ready for certain things. The ablation will cause no more periods. You won't have any more. If that's something that, you want to research and talk to your doctor about. You have to talk about the fact of never having kids. Are you at that point where you don't want to have any more kids? That's something that you possibly can, do.
Okay. Miss April Terrell Rollins said, love you, Tasha. Doing awesome, cuz.
Oh, thank you. She's a nurse as well.
All right. Is this your family? She's part of your
Yes.
family too? Yeah, y'all got a lot of nurses in your family, huh? So how long have you been in remission?
Actually, March made 8 years.
I thought I saw that on your page. You was holding the 8 balloon.
Yes, I took my grandson to the marina, me, my grandson, and my son, and we celebrated my 8th year of having no evidence of cancer.
When did you finally tell your son? Because I know you told your daughter, but you kind of held it back from your son. At what age was he when you finally revealed to him?
Let me see. Percy probably, he was almost going to high school when we finally started talking about it. It was after his 8th grade year, because in agreement with our custody, I allowed him to do a year with his dad and a year with me. So I wanted him to be completely with me before we discussed any of what I went through. And then I finally had to tell him because he was starting to see 2Fab4Cancer everywhere. And he was wondering why I wear teal and white all the time. Because we
Yeah.
have a teal and white Tuesday.
Okay.
And he wanted to know why. Why are you wearing teal all the time? What is this? So I finally set him down and told him, but he was getting ready to go to high school.
Yeah. In talking to you, I remember you saying that you wanted to do something for your hometown. You in
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida, but you definitely want to come back home and do something for your hometown. And I made mention about us having Miss Charlotte Jones on, who was doing the mental health
Mental health.
awareness. And I said, maybe I talked to Bishop T and I said, we would love to try to put something together. We can get you to come back home for a weekend and get Miss Charlotte Jones here and other people that have bring awareness. I think we have Dr. Xavier Smith is OBYGN. Get him to come on a meet up somewhere where y'all can set up booths and tables and give out information and even speak to people who are actually having issues. I think the important thing is for people to realize they have support. I
Yes.
believe that they can lean on, that they can actually be themselves and talk about it without any judgment. Any judgment. That's what real talk is about. We want to get the information out. We want to help somebody, and I believe you did help somebody today. April Rollins said a great testimony. Keep getting the information out there, and we definitely want to get that information out there.
Yeah, that's great because I'm just gonna put the numbers out there. Like yearly, it's over 14,000 cases, new cases every year with cervical cancer, and over 4,000 women die every year of cervical cancer. So if you're having problems, you can always like reach. I'm available. If you don't feel like talking to a loved one, that's the whole point of me establishing 2Fab4Cancer. I talk to women all over, even all the way in Africa. Like I have people that I talk to all over the world. And I'm just blessed to be in this position or have this platform to be able to reach people. And it's all different races, not just, minorities that I speak with. But you can definitely reach me. You can reach me on any social media. I don't mind giving my phone number. Let me think about that one. Let me give me a Google number. But I don't mind talking to loved ones because I'm gonna say this: hats off to caregivers, hats off to them, because we can be during health issues, we can be a pain.
Oh yeah,
We can
oh
be a
yeah.
pain, and it's
Hmm.
those caregivers that don't give up on us,
Right.
help us out, bathe us, go to the doctor's appointments, hold our hands, just genuinely be there. So hats off to them. And I'm there. That's a part of the cancer support is I want to be there for the caregivers as well. When you
Right.
don't know what to say to your loved one, don't know how to handle it. And sometimes you need a break. You need a
Yeah.
mental break. Because I
Yes.
deal with a lot of stage 4
Mm.
women that reach out to me, and it can take a tear on you. I just lost a survivor sister not too long ago, had 2 beautiful kids that she left behind. So mentally it can take a toll on you as well, so you do need a break.
Yeah.
But I want just to be that pathway to help somebody. If I'm answering a question or just being an ear, I want to be there.
Yes. And we're going to ask you a question in just a few minutes. But I want to say this to that very person that's watching that has given up. It's not too late. You need to get the help that you can get right now. They can inbox you on Facebook right through Messenger.
Yes. Hmm.
Uh, LaTasha Bostick. Is it Tasha or LaTasha?
I think on Facebook is Tasha.
Okay. Tasha Bostick, inbox her. Is there an email address that you have?
Yeah, you can email me. It's I'm 2Fab4Cancer at Yahoo. I'm on all platforms. On Instagram is 2Fab4Cancer.
Mhm.
Facebook is 2Fab4Cancer. Twitter is I'm 2Fab4Cancer. So I'm on all platforms. Wherever you feel like you need, if you need to tweet me, whatever you need to do to reach me, I'm reachable.
Okay. So you're about to become a nonprofit. You did say
Yes.
that, right? Okay.
Yes.
So we have Anthony Burdine, who said, "How can he support your nonprofit? Uh, do we have to wait until you become nonprofit, or is there a way they can support you now?"
No, they can actually support by share. First off, let's just spread the word that there is a nonprofit that that's out there to give support. Word of mouth is key. Right now, we're not taking financial support
Okay.
until we get all the paperwork for us, the tax exempt part.
Okay.
But right now, just being there when we have an event, that's support. When we do start taking donations, that's going to be a big key, because
Okay.
money, help us do
Exactly.
everything in the world to reach
Exactly.
more women. But I do appreciate that. And Mr. Burdine is from Dallas. So thank you for, listening in all the way
He
from
from
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yes.
Look at that, Bishop T. We got folks from Florida, from Dallas, from Green Pastor. We up in this. We up in this. We up in this. We got folk all over joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all.
You got to get us banned from the church and Facebook.
No, we up in here. We helping some folk. We helping
We
some folk.
are.
Listen to Mama said. Mama said all over the place. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, is there anything that you have for her, Bishop T?
I just want to say awesome testimony. And if there's any way, I know I echo the words of Pastor Hub will agree with me when I say this. If there's any way that Real Talk, myself, Pastor Hub, can be of help to you, we are glad to do that. My mother is a cancer survivor, lung cancer survivor. So when you talk about caregivers, that's special to me because I know what that can be for a person. And hats off to you. You had a support system, but you didn't have the support system that you could have had because you chose to do it a certain way.
Right.
I'm interested in talking with you further because I'd like to, especially as it relates to caregivers, because that's always been kind of in my heart, because it does get to be, and people don't realize just how much your environment plays a major part in healing,
Amen.
in that healing process. So when you talk about the stress and all of that, it plays a major part. So I'm excited for 2Fab4Cancer, excited for what's in store for that. And definitely, I was thinking about this 2 or 3 days ago, and so I will say it here. There are those times when we go through some things and you can tell that we went through. Let's be it. You don't look like what you've been through. Your testimony is awesome. God gave you the grace to go through it. And so I'm excited to see and to be whatever part that this platform can play to see you walk in that destiny for 2Fab4Cancer. Hats off to you. To God be the glory for 8 years of being cancer free. And we're excited to see what God has in store for these next 8 years and beyond that point. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being open with us
Right.
about from the beginning to now. Thank you for sharing that tonight, and God's blessings to you.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Listen, got a question for you. Will you have apparel that will be used to help spread your message?
Yes, I will definitely. And when I do, I'm going to reach out to you all so
All
we
right.
can push it because all proceeds are definitely going to be helping other
Yeah.
women, their families.
T-shirts and the hats. People, we love that type
Yes,
stuff.
we're gonna have the whole 9 yards. I'm a creator, so I have a whole nother business called Angelique Boz. That's a whole different story. But I birthed that as well. So we do design. So that business in itself is going to help push 2Fab4Cancer on that apparel and everything that we need. It's going to be in house. So I'm not going to have to really reach out to a lot of people. So it's going to be, my family is huge. We have a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah. We
resources
know.
that I can pull. So
Yeah.
we're
We
going to
know
get it
y'all huge.
done.
Yeah. Yes. Miss April said, "Love you, cuz. Keep up the good work, and I'll be following you as usual." Your mom said, "Thanks for having her on. Love it. Keep up the good work." You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Yes.
Anything you want to share with those our listeners, our viewers, before we leave on tonight?
Thank you for the questions. Thank you for tuning in, listening. This is the first time I publicly have told my story to my hometown. I
What up?
want to
What up?
do I want to
Real
do a
talk.
lot more in Alabama because Alabama is one of the highest, Alabama and Mississippi is one of the highest rates, for cervical cancer deaths. So I want to do a lot more in the state of Alabama in the months and years to come. So we definitely will have a great relationship because I'm gonna be there. You're
Awesome.
gonna see my
Awesome.
face.
Awesome. Awesome. And we can't wait for you to become that nonprofit so we can start making sure some funds come your way. Okay. Thank you
Yes.
for coming
Thank you.
on, and great seeing you again. And we wish you well. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Everyone, go ahead and flood the timeline with hearts. If you really appreciated this conversation we had with Miss Tasha Bostick, the owner, founder, and CEO of 2Fab4Cancer. Be looking for that. Go on Facebook and look her up. Look her up, like her page. Okay. All right. Thank you. You have a wonderful one.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
All right. Awesome. 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 Really enjoyed that conversation with Ms. Tasha Bostick, and we pray that individuals was helped throughout the conversation we had. Ladies, nothing to be ashamed of. Like she said, let's lose the stigma. Let's lose the stigma. Don't get caught up in what you think. Uh, you have now. You can gain information just at the tip of your fingers nowadays by Googling, getting information. Don't try to diagnose yourself. Get to a doctor. If you're not satisfied with what the doctor is saying, seek another opinion. But don't give up on your life. It's your life. You only have one. And please don't suffer in silence. You have support groups out there that are willing to have the conversation with you and walk you through the very ones, the very thing you need to do in order to get the attention or the help that you need. Okay. Bishop T, it's been wonderful.
It has been. As always, it's been an awesome show.
Yes, 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 yes. Uh yes. Mom, her mother said, please get in touch with someone.
Right.
Well, anything you want to say to our viewers before we go tonight?
Thank you again for sharing with us tonight. As always, we appreciate it. And we look forward to next week, same time.
Same time. All right. Well, ladies and gents, thank you all for joining us. We're out.